my lesson on biological molecules. As the name suggests, these are molecules made by living organisms. Today, we will be looking at identifying the chemical elements present in carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. Lipids include solid fats and liquid oils, and how the structure of these molecules are made up from smaller units: starch and glycogen from simple sugars, protein from amino acids, and lipids from fatty acids and glycerol. We will not be looking at food tests or enzymes in this lesson, as these are covered in following videos. The biological molecules also link into the section on animal nutrition. So firstly, I'd like to look at what makes up a healthy, balanced diet. There are 7 constituents which need to be in the right quantity and proportion for the diet to be regarded as healthy and balanced. These 7 constituents are carbohydrates for ready energy, glucose is used for respiration, glycogen and starch are stores of glucose, proteins for growth and repair, lipids, in other words, fats and oils, these are required for energy stores and insulation. Vitamins help with chemical reactions. Minerals for normal functioning of enzymes and proteins. And fibre regulates bowel movement, enabling peristalsis, in other words, the pushing of food along the digestive tract. And then there's water for transport and so that chemical reactions can go on. The 3 we will be looking at today are carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids, as these are the biological molecules. Biological molecules are made from elements. Elements such as carbon and oxygen cannot be broken down into simpler substances, but can be built up into molecules. You will have come across elements in chemistry, and they are displayed in the periodic table. You need to know what elements make up each of these 3 groups of biological molecules. Carbohydrates, as the name suggests, are made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen in the proportion 1 carbon to 2 hydrogens to 1 oxygen, as in glucose, the formula of which is C6H12O6. You need to know this when you are doing the balanced chemical equation for respiration and photosynthesis. Lipids are also made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, just in a different proportion to carbohydrates. Proteins are more complicated. They are made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and a little bit of sulfur, sometimes remembered as chons. This is why plants need to get nitrates from the soil to convert the carbohydrate made in photosynthesis into protein for growth. Now we know what elements are found in each of these biological molecules, we need to see how these biological molecules are built up. Proteins and complex carbohydrates are polymers. Poly meaning many and mers meaning parts. Just like a house is made up of bricks, these biological molecules are made up of individual components. These individual components then join together to make a larger molecule, like beads in a bead necklace. Polymers are made up of the same type of molecule joined together in long chains. Lipids are not polymers because they are made up of 2 different types of component. The simplest component of carbohydrates is the monosaccharide. Mono meaning single, saccharide meaning sugar. Monosaccharides include glucose, fructose, and galactose. 2 monosaccharides can join together to form a disaccharide, di meaning 2. Common disaccharides are sucrose, made of 1 glucose and 1 fructose joined together, maltose, made up of 2 glucose molecules, and lactose, the sugar found in milk, which is made up of 1 glucose and 1 galactose. As you join on more monosaccharides, a polysaccharide is formed, such as starch, glycogen, or cellulose, which is shown here. Cellulose is found in plant cell walls. Glucose is a carbohydrate used directly in respiration. Glycogen and starch are storage carbohydrates. Glycogen is stored in animals and fungi, and starch is stored in plants. The simplest component of proteins is the amino acid. There are about 20 different amino acids, so a huge number of different proteins can be built up from these. Imagine if you had 20 different colours or styles of bead and you were asked to make up a necklace at random. There are a vast array of different necklaces that could be made. It is estimated that there could be 80,000 to 400,000 different proteins in the human body. 2 amino acids joined together make a dipeptide. Many join together to form a polypeptide. A polypeptide then folds into a specific shape to make a protein. The order of the amino acids along the polypeptide chain determine the specific shape of the protein. Proteins can be structural, such as collagen in your hair, or metabolic, such as hemoglobin in your red blood cells. Enzymes, which I cover in another video, are proteins. As I said previously, carbohydrates and proteins are polymers and are built up of repeating units called monomers, mono meaning one, mers being parts. Lipids are not polymers, as they are not made up of many repeating units. They are just regarded as macromolecules, in other words, large molecules. Proteins and carbohydrates are also macromolecules. They are still biological molecules. The two components that make up lipids are glycerol and fatty acids. There are 3 fatty acid chains attached to one glycerol molecule. They are often represented like this in diagrams. Different fatty acid chains lead to different types of lipids. Lipids are important for stored energy, as they release twice as much energy per gram than carbohydrates and proteins, electrical and heat insulation, protection of organs, providing padding around them, and for cell membranes. So there we have it, biological molecules, covering these learning outcomes. Don't forget the buzzwords. You need to know these so that you can use them automatically when answering exam questions. Why not now watch the linked videos on food tests and human nutrition? Hi, I'm Philippa Crick, the face behind the videos, and I hope you've been enjoying them. The idea of them was just to help students bridge the gap that they might have found since COVID. Anyway, I'm also an online tutor, so if you're interested in some online tutoring, then just drop me a note or click on the link on my YouTube page. Thank you for watching, and I hope you're going to explore some more of my videos.